Hi everybody, I'm holding my own camera today, so this is going to be a little awkward. Probably going to be just seeing my nose and nose hairs for a second while I'm recording this. For today's math lesson, you are going to be doing some adding. You're going to be working with some sums, and we're giving you a whole bunch of vocabulary words. And I'm going to tell you what you need for the lesson. So I'm going to flip this around. All right. So for today's lesson, you are going to need a page out of your workbook, this workbook right here. You're going to need this page. It is page number 83 right here. It's got a little pink fish on it. It says addition, adding two groups put together up top. So this is what you're going to need. You're also going to need two different colored crayons or markers, and a pencil if you want to write your numbers in pencil here. You can also write it in your crayon colors if you would like. You could even write, let's say, these two things right here. You can write your 2 in red right there. You can put 1, 2, 3, 4. You can put 4 green things in this one. And it says 2 and 4 makes, and then you will count all of these things eventually. But we're going to do a little practice of that while we're doing the lesson. But for now, this is the page you need. Okay, so today we are going to be reading a story called Mice Everywhere. And I've decided that this is how I want to read the book. So I am the one holding the camera. I am the one moving my hand. It's probably going to make you have motion sickness. We'll see. It's called Mice Everywhere, written by James Burnett and Calvin Irons, a book about static addition. This is addition that sticks to you when you come out of the dryer. I'm just kidding, it's not. This is just addition. This is adding numbers together. We're going to talk a little bit about altogether and sums and plus and all these different words that mean the same thing. Mice Everywhere, again by James Burnett and Calvin Irons, illustrated by Ann Haynes. All right, let's see if I can get the right angle on this. I'm going to read these things and I'm going to kind of point to the words like this. Mice everywhere. 4 on a chair, 2 in the air. So we've got mice in 2 different places. This is a great little page for us to come back to when we start talking about how many mice there are all together on this page. We've got 2 different sets of mice. We got some mice over here in the chair. We've got some mice up here in the air. But how many mice would we have all together? That's how we're going to plus. So let's keep reading the story and then we'll come back to this page. We'll talk about it when we get to it. Mice everywhere, 5 in a band, 3 in the sand. Check out the mice and look at them playing their different things. Mice everywhere, 2 in the cheese, 6 in the trees. So look at the 2 different groups of mice. Check them out. Mice everywhere. 3 in a box, 4 wearing socks. Get out of here. I got this. Mice everywhere. 8 under the floor, 2 behind the door. Wow, I have to zoom out on this. Let me stand up so you guys can see the whole picture. And mice everywhere. 4 on a bike, 5 on a trike. We got 5 over here and 4 over here. So there's 4 on this bike, but there's 5 over here. But what if I asked you how many mice all together on these 2 pages? Then we'd have to put these 2 groups together. Mice everywhere. 9 on a rocket, 1 in a pocket. They do have mice everywhere in this book. Whew. All right. I'm going to read this first and then we'll zoom in on the different parts. This big house has rooms to spare. Mice run and play everywhere. Let's give a look at some of these different parts of the book. We got some friends up there. Take a look, see if you can notice all the different friends, mice hidden everywhere. That's a great page. What a cool illustration by our illustrator, the one who draws the book. All these hidden little mice to play with. So that is our book, Mice Everywhere. We're going to do a little bit of talking about the idea of addition, where we can take two different groups and put them together. So we're going to go back to this page to think about that, okay? Addition is where we take two numbers, or two or three numbers, maybe a couple more, and we want to put them all together just to see how many things we have. So for this, we're going to go ahead and talk about it a little bit like we're talking about a story. We have four mice in the chair, and we have two mice up in the air. But what if Mr. McCardle wanted to ask you, how many mice are there all together in this picture? That's when you start thinking about, we're going to have to add these two groups together. So I know there's two right here. I know there's two mice here. There's four mice here. But if I want to know how many there are all together, I'm going to have to add the numbers of mice. That way I just count them all and don't stop as I keep going. So here I would count 1, 2, 3, 4. There's four mice here. I would write the number 4 on kind of like your page you're going to be doing later. And I know that there's 1, 2 mice here, so I would write the number 2. But if I wanted to know all of them, I'd keep counting all of them together, because that's what we do when we add. We put them all together and we just keep counting them. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we had a math problem, we would see 4 plus 2 would equal 6 mice. So that's our addition problem for this page. And I almost wish I could just write things on this, but I can't. So maybe I do need you for this, Miss Stark. I'm so sorry. And a whiteboard with a marker as I talk about this one. All right, so this one was Mice Everywhere. There's 5 in a band. There's 3 in the sand. So we've got all our mice all over the place. There's two different distinct groups. There's the ones that are all in the band. They all rock, of course. And then there's ones up here in the sand. So there's two different mice. There's two different numbers. Could you just hold it right there and I'll tell you what to write when we get to it?
Sure.
Thank you so very much for the assist, Miss Stark. Apparently I just can't do it as a giant hand talking to you guys. All right, so for our number right here, we count all of our mice. And the number up here, we're going to count all the mice and playing in the sand. And then we're going to add them together using the plus sign and the phrase, how many mice all together. All right, so let's count these up and then we'll write the number up here on our magic board that just appeared like magic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mice in the band. So up here on this little board right here, we're going to write the number 5. And this is going to be a lot like your homework. You're going to have spaces to write these numbers. And in the book, you're going to say the word and, but for what we're doing, we are actually doing addition. So we're going to write a little plus sign right here. The plus sign kind of looks like the letter T, but it means addition, putting things together when we're talking about math. So let's look at our mice up here in the sand. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3 mice in the sand. So what we're going to do in our little problem, we're going to write the number 3. So right now, if we're going to read this like we would read a sentence made out of words, we would read 5 plus 3. This means we're trying to put these two numbers all together. We're trying to add them. So we're going to see we need a equation sign, so an equal sign right here, which means we're looking for the answer as to what that is. And an equal sign is two little lines right on top of each other. Think of it like two little mustaches that decided to have a mustache on top of their mustache. I don't know why you would think about that. I've never thought of it, but it seems like a good idea right now. So we're going to add these all together, and we're going to make sure that that is the answer to the problem. So the way we do that is we just count them all together, okay? So we're going to start over here, and we're going to work our way across the page, count all the mice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's that part, 6, 7, 8. We just added those. And we ended up with the number 8. So we're going to write the number 8 right here. And another way you can write that, and you're going to write that on your work, is we can use the word and, which is your sight word for this week. You can use 5 and 3, and I forget what that is, makes. You can use makes instead of the equal sign, which is what you're going to see in your work tonight. It'll say 5 and 3 makes 8. So let's look at your page you're going to be working on. Let's give a round of applause for our lovely assistant, Miss Stark. We'll take a picture of her real quick. She's been working very hard. Look at her. She's been our magic second set of hands. So today in our work, we're going to do a little bit of the same kind of thing as counting our mice. I'll try not to move too much and make you any more sick. It says use 2 colors to show 2 groups, then write the number in each part and the total. So this is kind of like our 2 different sets of mice. We've got our red candy and our green candy here. So for this one, oh, and it looks like you guys actually get to make up your own problems down here. So for this one, we would say this first box is going to be our red candy. Second box is going to be our green candy. Our third box is going to be how many candies all together. So for this first box, we would say 1, 2, and we'd put the number 2 right here in this box. For this one, we would say green candy 1, 2, 3, 4, and write our 4 right in here. And it says makes blank. For this makes blank question or box, this is where you count all the candy all together. You're going to plus these. 2 plus 4 equals, or all together is, and then we count them all across the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we would put our 6 right here in this box. That's that particular problem. For this one, you get to make up your own. So take your 2 crayons and color some of these stars. It doesn't matter what, you're going to have to think about what you do color. So let's say you color 1, 2, 3 of these stars purple. You would have to put 3 down here. 3 purple stars. Let's say you color the other 4 stars red. You would put a 4 right here. So it's kind of up to you what you want to color. Just use 2 different colors. Don't use 3 because we're adding 2 numbers. So you want 2 colors for the 2 numbers. So let's say you do 3 purple here, 4 red here. You'll do 3, the number right here, and 4, the number right here. And then you're going to count all the stars all together, and that'll be your answer over here. So give that one a shot. Add some numbers together. You get to make up your own. It's a pretty fun little page. You get to make up your own addition problems, or at least the beginning of addition problems. Go ahead and fill that out. Take a picture. Please send it right back to us so we can see what's going on, and have a great day. Thank you for working so hard on your math, and we'll see you next time.